Hey traders, welcome back. So we're going to talk today about the psychological problem that many of us have is becoming too greedy when we're trading. All about greed. How do we have that fine line between holding your profits and trying to extract as much out of the market as you can, and being too greedy and looking for more than really you should be? What is the difference? How do we calculate? So I define greed as, listen, you are in a trade and the trade is going very well for you, but you want more out of it. That's fine, but if it's outside of your initial plan, that's when it becomes into the greed section. So let's use an example, right? We have a chart here. We've bought, just for argument's sake, we bought this double bottom, right? So we're in long here. We've got our stop, and the market starts to push up. Now, we have seen some resistance from way back here, in this area here. And that's how we framed our trade. We said, listen, we're long here, our stop's here, blah, blah, blah. There's our resistance. So the market then comes up to the resistance, and instead of closing the trade as we'd promised and we'd structured the trade, we think, it's just gone straight up there. I think it's going to go straight through. And we've got a little bit greedy. That's happened very, very quickly. We've made some good money on that. The market's paid us for being right quite quickly. And it kind of brings out that, I think I can do this. I think, why can't I have more out of it? And we kind of then look for that more extension, which, if you had it in the strategy in the first place, you said, listen, if we get to there, I want to reassess and maybe I'll hold it, then that's fine. But if you haven't got it in the strategy, or if it doesn't account for it and you said you were going to come out and you're still holding, then you are looking at it from a greedy perspective because you want more out of it. There's no reason you want more. In the cold, calm light of day, you analysed it, you didn't allow for this, and you're looking for more. And of course, generally what's going to happen is the market will roll over and it'll punish you for being greedy, or it'll do the opposite and it will push up, it'll give you that one, but then the next time you do it, it'll nail you and you end up holding it, and it will kind of trigger all sorts of things for you, because it's, any of these emotions that we're going to talk about is purely, it's triggering a different side of the analytical process that you've done. When the market's closed and you've looked at it and you've made your decision and your setup, and you've changed and you vary from that. Now, whatever reason that may be, and we'll talk about kind of panic in a second and fear and those kind of things. Whatever reason that triggers you to not do exactly what you said you were going to do, then you're kind of on the wayward track. You're off piste. You're flying off piste, and anything can happen, and you haven't accounted for that. So the other thing that greed kind of creeps in is that, and I actually have to confess that this is something that gets me from time to time as well, is position sizing. Okay, so you're in a position, you've kind of said to yourself, right, this is a 30 tick stop, and I'm just saying from a kind of day trading perspective, could be a little bit more, but whatever, let's just use that for now. 50 tick stop, 50 pips if we're talking currencies. We kind of take the trade and we're in a reasonable position size. Let's just say, for argument's sake, we're in a £10 a point if we're spread betting, or in 10 CFDs if we're trading CFDs, or if we're trading lot size, whatever the case may be, we're risking kind of $300, 300 euros, 300 pounds on the trade. Fine. We take the trade and it goes in our direction, and we've got a bit in the bank, maybe we've got 500 in the bank, and we take the trade out, right? The next trade, we kind of think, I should have taken that in more size. I could have taken that at £20 a point. It worked well for me. I don't mind risking that. And so the next trade, again, we're talking about deviating from the strategy, deviating from the risk management plan. The greed kicks in. This is where the greed line is, if you like. The greed kicks in, and all of a sudden we've upgraded ourselves to double the position size. So we're in £20 per point, or in 20 contracts, or in 20 lots, whatever we're trading, whatever vehicle we're choosing, wherever we are in the world and whatever we're doing. That then, we open the account, and of course, open the trade, sorry, and then of course, what's going to happen. It's going to come down. It's going to be 30 tick stop. All of a sudden, we're like, whoa. I've just undone all my good trade. I didn't mean to, and the brain starts getting all flustered and confused with it, and you start saying, well, oh, what have I done? I'm now worse than I was when I took that great trade, even though that was, a better trade. Oh no, I shouldn't have been too greedy. And it was greed, because instead of sticking to the plan and saying, you know what, I need to do this amount of size and build and build and build, you've gone, I don't need to. I don't need to. I want to make money now. I want to make money now. Right, let me slap a big size on it. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. That is different. And all this is just deviating from the plan, isn't it? If that's different from saying, I'm going to scale up with like an anti-martingale strategy, whatever it may be, I'm going to do 10 here, I'm going to add another 10 here, I'm going to add another 5 here, I'm going to pull my stop up, and there's a strategy for it, that's fine. That's not greed, that's just following your strategy that you've calmly, carefully calculated your complete risk on it. Are you comfortable with it? Yes. Greed is just getting aggressive. And also something else, again, I have to admit to doing this as well many times, and I'll probably talk about how I managed to overcome this kind of bad behavior, if you like, is that if you're day trading, all of a sudden you see a setup you think is the best setup in the world. So you just go, right, I need to do that with size. And you just smack a lot of size on it, and of course, it's not going to help you, because if it goes in your direction, you think you're great. But also, when it starts to go in your direction, you've got a lot of size on that you're not comfortable with, you're not used to, you've not planned out. You're going to snatch it. You're going to go, oh, I'm going to grab it because I'm in too much. And of course, then you go away from your whole complete strategy. You're not letting it mature. When it goes against you, the fear is more magnified. So, you've got that kind of thing. And the final one, very quickly, guys, without overrunning too much on this video, is that, you start to overtrade. You start to get greedy. You've had a good run. You start to think you're good. You start to think, you know what, whenever I sit in front of that screen, whenever I pull that trigger, God, I just end up making money. I'm a genius. So, of course, you overtrade. Yeah, you tend up taking trades that are marginal because you're greedy, because you want more money, instead of sticking to the strategy and saying, listen, this is the rules of the strategy. I may have some discretion in it, and that's fine, but I'm not just flying by the seat of the pants. I'm not just saying, I think that's going up, or it's almost triggered my trigger, I'll take it anyway. Unfortunately, when you dig down into it, the reason you're doing that is because you want to make more money. It's like greed. I want to get more money out of it. I want to get more money. How do I get more money out of it? Instead of saying, listen, I've had a good run. That's fine. There's no need to be greedy about it. If I want to increase my size and allow myself to trade more size, then I can do. But as long as I plan it out, I'm careful with it, set my risk management, and then increase it. Now, that's taking your desire for more money, which isn't greed. And at the end of the day, greed can be a good thing if it's put in the right perspective, but we're talking about greed of just like an instant sort of impulse decision, as opposed to, okay, I'm doing well, let me take a bit more risk and let me make a bit more money out of this, You could say that's greed, but ultimately that's just kind of stretch you towards whatever financial goals you want with your trading. We're talking about from an impulse perspective. Greedy, over trading, I want to get more, the more trades I do, the more. And then again, of course, you know what happens. You're taking trades outside of your standard kind of setup range, and you're going to get smacked. And there's the same with any of these things. We'll talk about some other emotions in a moment. Whenever you step out of that emotional thermometer, into the greed or into the fear, it can only end in tears, guys. So something to look out for. If you find yourself, really seeking the money, really like wanting to make more and not really planning it out, then just be careful of that and make sure it doesn't cash you out. And again, a thumbs up if you like this video, guys. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Comments about greed. Does it affect you? Does it not affect you? How do you approach it if it does? What's the kind of way you found of overcoming it or not? Is it something that's still bothering you? We want to hear what you guys have got to think about it. All right. Good trading, guys. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.